Hello, everyone. My guest today is Tom Cameron. He's abandoned a structural engineering career in 1997 to pursue internet technology. He's founded multiple small businesses and two internet SaaS companies. He currently lives in Brisbane, Australia, where he co-manages a co-working space and manages his company To Do View, and still has a hand in a web consulting business he founded 18 years ago. Tom, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, I am.
All right. So what is To Do View, and is your revenue model purely a SaaS one?
Yes. So To-Do is a SaaS solution providing a suite of productivity tools to freelancers and small and micro businesses. And yes, our revenue model is purely SaaS.
That's great. So what are people paying on average per month for this kind of tool?
Well, it's $9 per user per month, and our average team is around three users. So it's actually quite small and quite cheap.
That's great. So maybe $27 per new logo, three team members.
That's correct. Yes.
That's
yes.
great. And when did you launch this company? What year?
It was 2014 we started up with the idea. We didn't really go live till about a year or so after that.
Okay. And kind of why get into this space? It sounds like you had your hands full with consulting business, a co-working space, a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, well, I've spent the last 20 years really working in small business myself, and really I couldn't find a tool that gave me the solutions that I needed for the price that I thought was acceptable. And I really felt that there was a space there for a solution for really small micro businesses and freelancers.
It makes a lot of sense, and it looks like you're incorporating kind of CRM, project management, time tracking, and billing for freelancers and consultants all in one spot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, there's a lot of talk about pluggable solutions and building solutions from multiple different sources. But the reality is, for a lot of small businesses, that can turn out to be an expensive, complicated, and ineffective approach. My analogy has always been when you put the camera in the phone, it became a completely different type of solution. So bringing those things together can behave completely differently.
And so what have you scaled today in terms of kind of total customers on the platform?
We've got around 5,000 customers, but to be honest, around 500 of them are actually paying customers. We have a free solution for freelancers.
Okay, got it. So 500 kind of paid, and can I multiply that times 27 to get MRR?
Correct.
Okay, so
yes.
about $13,000 in monthly recurring revenue?
That's right. Yeah.
That's great. And what does growth look like? So if you go back a year to November 2017, what were you doing per month then?
We were doing about a quarter of what we're doing now. So we've 400% in the last 12 months.
That's great. Obviously, small numbers are nice, but growth is growth, right? So we can still use the big percentages. Where's most of that growth coming from?
To be honest, it's spread out internationally. We've never chased any particular market. Our only limitation at the moment really is English-speaking small business, and our advertising is entirely global. We get about a third from the US and Americas, about a third from Europe, and about a third from the rest of the world.
And Tom, have you bootstrapped this?
Entirely, yes. So out of my revenue from other businesses, bootstrapping myself, yep.
That's really great. And walk me through kind of the story. So 2014, you launched the company. What are you at today? Is it just yourself, or do you have a team?
It's literally just myself and a couple of developers from within my other business. And then a couple of contractors and freelancers. I've got a little bit of help with, content development, a little bit of marketing help, that sort of thing. But,
very small team, in Sydney?
Keeping costs very low. Everyone's in Brisbane, Australia. Although some from overseas. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So call it maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe full time, and then kind of a little small army of consultants and freelancers to help you out when you need it.
That's correct. Yes.
That's great. At this kind of price point, churn is typically an issue. SMBs go out of business a lot. So what is your churn today, and how do you manage that?
Well, to be honest, you've zeroed in on our biggest problem. The churn is a bit over 3% per month, and that's definitely a concern.
That's logo churn per month?
3% per month.
Yeah, Tom,
yes.
Is that logo churn or revenue churn?
Oh, sorry. That's logo churn. Yes, which actually equates very, very similar to revenue. Yes. So our biggest approach at the moment is focusing on getting the right fit of customers. Really, rather than focusing on how to maintain customers who might be unsatisfied with the product, we feel that the best approach is to focus on bringing the right people in and finding the right market And then obviously just making sure we can engage them throughout the entire process. Yeah.
And in terms of acquiring new customers, are you doing any, paid spend, or is it all organic?
No, actually, about 40% of our traffic to the front of our website is from paid traffic. So that tends to be a range of Google AdWords, Facebook, a little bit of Bing, but also the software directories like GetApp and Capterra. So they tend to be our best sources of traffic.
And
the rest is organic.
What do you, to get a new kind of $27 per month customer, what are you paying to get that customer typically?
Okay, we're paying, I've done the sums backwards. We get our revenue back in about 6 months, 6 to 7 months.
Okay.
So it depends a bit on the source. We've got some sources that are very cheap and very effective, but we get a small amount of traffic from them. We've got other sources that get us bigger traffic, but obviously they cost a bit more.
Okay. So, I mean, if 6 months times obviously $27 in terms of what they pay per month would put your CAC at about $162. Does that sound about right?
That sounds right. Yep.
And name like a cheap channel, but with not a lot of traffic.
Okay, Capterra and GetApp, listings on the software directories.
Interesting.
Clearly, people are going straight to those directories to find products that meet their needs, and that traffic is very high quality traffic. We get a very good conversion rate at the front end of the website.
How
and
good?
You get reasonably, about between 15 and 18%.
Okay.
Of those people who come to the front website actually sign up for a free trial. No, they don't start paying. They sign up for a free trial.
Okay.
And then other sources of traffic tend to sign up for a free trial more around the 5 to 10% range.
And how many trials do you need to get a new paid account?
We're getting around a 4% conversion of trials to a new account.
So if you get 100 from Capterra or GetApp, you'll get about 4 new customers.
Yep, that's correct. Yes.
So why not pay more to get a higher placement on GetApp and Capterra and G2 Crowd?
We're finding we're just getting outbid by everyone else. They're paying much higher bid prices to the point where to even try to get beyond their positions, we'd have to pay 5 to 10 times what we're currently bidding.
Got it.
So it just simply becomes uneconomical very quickly. And really that's something I've learned is that because we're in this space of very cheap products and small micro businesses, we simply can't bid against the companies that have a much more expensive offering and therefore can be higher. So it's a challenge.
Why aren't you all in on this? It sounds like you're doing multiple things at once, but this thing kind of requires full attention if you really want to get it to $1 million in revenue or 5 million, et cetera.
Yeah, my plan is definitely to pivot. I mean, my plan is to build this up to a point where I can then phase out of the other business and then go on to this full time and focus. So, obviously that's a tricky thing to do, but I've made my decision that I believe it's worth it. Certainly with the growth that we've seen over the last 12 months, if I can keep that up for another 12 to 18 months, I'll be in a very good position then to start pivoting completely. And also,
what do you mean pivoting? You mean changing the current product or selling this and doing something else?
Sorry. Pivoting my whole business structure in a sense of getting rid of the consulting business and then focusing 100% on the startup.
I see.
So at the moment, I still need to achieve revenue from my other businesses.
Would you ever sell the software product and then double down on the agency? No, I think I'd probably want to stick with the software product. It's my love. It's what I want to do. I'm seeing with the growth that I'm seeing in it and the reward for effort, I think it's definitely the space I'd like to be. If anything, what I might do is source investment in the future, but only when I feel that I really need it and I'm in a position to control to some extent, the structure of investment. Mm-hmm. Very good. All right, let's wrap up here, Tom, with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
I'd go right back to Crossing the Chasm.
That's a good one.
Some time ago, I read that, and it just changed. It just changed the way I think. Yep.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying currently?
Probably, I've always followed Richard Branson. I like what he does, and I've always followed him. Yep.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the company?
Probably, I'm still using the Google Apps suite. I find I use it throughout in business, building charts, building graphs, lot of spreadsheets. Yeah, Google Apps.
And next question, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
Oh, actually, I sleep pretty well. Probably, 6 to 8 hours.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Yeah, I'm married. I've got one. And yeah.
Married, one kid. Tom, and how old are you?
I'm 50.
50. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish I was braver. I wish I would take a few more chances. I was probably, at that time, too hesitant and really didn't go out and try things. Stuck with a more traditional path of career. I should have done this much earlier.
Guys, there you have it. Take more risks, go after it sooner. Coming from the guy that created To Do View back in 2014, again, helps freelancers manage billing, time management, a bunch of other stuff, sending out invoices. They've passed 500 customers paying $27 a month, so $13,000 per month in revenue. That's up from $4K per month in revenue just a year ago. 3% logo churn per month, spending $162 to get a new customer at $27 a month. So 6-month payback period. Team of, 1 or 2 people within a small, 3-4 group of freelancers working on a need basis, all based down in Australia. Tom, thanks for taking us to the top.
No, appreciate your time. Thanks very much, Nathan.